It has landed safely, sadly. As you might see here, Anchorage, Alaska, or Anchorage. I don't know how to read this name, but it's in Alaska. Actually, I was monitoring this one on the Flight Radar 24. We even had some sort of the small stream on my trash channel with the guys. So if you want to see it, check it out. The link for my other channel is in the video description below. And from my aviation perspective, there is the clear difference between United States and Russia, because United States of America, local authorities, they haven't closed the airspace. There was freaking Cessna Caravan flying ahead of Putin's airplane. So I'm almost sure that Ilyushin 76 pilots had to reduce the airspeed to follow that freaking Cessna. But in Vnukovo, the main Russian base for Putin and the Russian government, they close absolutely everything. If Putin flies out or flies in, everyone is in holding patterns, everyone who is on the ground staying there, could be for hours. I know it myself because I've flown to Vnukovo many of the times, even before 2014. From what I understood, Russia went there with 2 airplanes, 1 private jet and 1 Ilyushin 96. And let's continue with Cringe. This video was released by the Russian propaganda Solovyov freaking channel. Solovyov, who said that Russia will demolish United States and turn it into nuclear dust. And the same channel posts this video. Let's watch it. This is the... Oh my god. So long history, yeah, from victories to the space and everywhere, and they're dancing. Oh my freaking god. Love you so much, Americans. Donald Trump, just look. Oh my god. The visit of Khrushchev to the United States of America, and here, yeah, that's probably the end of the video. Like they show pictures, like in Matrix, the common history of USA and Russia. Here they say, together we're creating the future. Shit. So Russian propaganda may tell whatever they want to Russians. They may call Americans as the worst enemies, and now they call them the best friends. In a matter of days, I would say, this change might happen and Russian zombies would accept everything. Yeah, this is Khrushchev. Russian propaganda actually blamed the guy to blame Khrushchev because it gave Ukraine Crimea. So it was disconnected from Russia politically and added to Ukrainian Republic, Ukrainian Soviet Republic, and after Ukraine gets the independence, Crimea stayed within its territorial borders. And later on, Russia took it by force, starting the war not in 2022, but in 2014. So from Crimean occupation, we may say that the war between Russia and Ukraine has started. And yeah, some of the Russians, they say, no, it's not good. America is our enemy. No, we're angry. But most support, yeah. Trump today gave several of the statements. One of those is that he is looking for the other meeting or another meeting between Putin, Zelensky and himself. And that would be way more important compared to the Trump-Putin meeting today. Well, it's a good sign, Donny said about it himself, but after all, I wouldn't put too much attention on what Donny is saying because he may say different stuff like sanctions on Russia, but the usual outcome is just taco. There were 2 of the big occasions, then he said that he will apply sanctions on Russia. First one was in May, the coordination efforts from the European allies and from the United States about the 30-day spirit of the ceasefire, but Putin called to Donald Trump. They had a very wonderful, beautiful meeting, and Donald Trump said no sanctions. European allies said, okay, yeah, maybe also no sanctions. But after some time, they implemented some sanctions in the 17th package. And the last week, we understood what happened. Donny said, okay, that's going to be the meeting, and he didn't apply any sort of the sanctions. He continued to threat with those Russia in his speeches, but I honestly do not think that he will apply those on Russia after all. So yeah, Donny is usual Donny, and this meeting will not bring anything. Maybe some of the points to Putin, because he will show that he may do what he does in Ukraine, even targeting Ukrainian civilians in many of the cities. Kyiv is under the constant Russian strikes, and he's well accepted by Donald Trump, President of United States. United States, ally of Ukraine. But Donny doesn't give a about this stuff. That's why, in general, my perception of this meeting is pure negativity. But after all, it's up to Ukraine and Russia to decide. Russia to finish the war because they've started it, and Zelensky also tells about it. And for Ukraine is to accept or not the swapping of the territories, which Donald Trump usually says. But even legally, it is impossible for Ukraine to give or swap territories. So Zelensky will never ever agree on that. Well, Russian propaganda says that the United States and Russia will decide for Ukraine and force Ukraine to capitulate, but no. It will not happen like that. But in general, we see the warm relations between Donald Trump, White House administration and Putin. It has never been like that. I mean, those warm relations, 11 years for sure. And it is not going to be just the meeting between Donald Trump and Putin. There will be the meeting between Russian and American delegations. From American side, Delulu J.D. Vance, Delulu Witkoff, half Delulu Marco Rubio or Little Marco, and Scott Bessent, who is plus minus Delulu. And here is the clown team coming from Russia. And what is interesting here is the meeting between Scott Bessent and Anton Siluanov, who is the financial minister of the Russian Federation. So they will speak about finances with Scott here. Maybe Russia is more interesting into their financial deal with United States of America. Russia also wants to cancel the sanctions applied on aviation sector, on some of their banks, and they also want to make the trade. Actually, it's the proposal from Donald Trump to make the trade on American resources of Alaska. Well, at least if we believe to this article from The Telegraph, they say that Donny may trade some of the Alaska resources to Russia. I think we live in some sort of the bad dream, guys. Even the visit itself was too much. But trading American resources together with Russian companies, I think... What the f is going on here? Is it America great again or not yet? And guys, right now I don't want to comment more about this meeting than I already said. We'll see the outcome, and there I will probably film the dedicated, not probably, but I will film the dedicated video, especially for this very interesting and important political news. Oh, just check out the Russian channels, guys. There, it was the first plane of the Russian delegation to arrive in Alaska. So Putin is not yet flying there. He is now in Magadan. Magadan is the far east of Russia. Putin is going to visit something here before actually flying to Alaska, maybe in a few hours, we'll see. Yeah, of course, for this delegation, they need at least 2 of the big Ilyushin 96 airplanes. Alright, that explains a lot. So should we wish the safe flight for Putin to Alaska? Well, you may write your wishes down below. My personal wish for it to be like this airplane of the Russian Air Force, which was shut down today not far away from the Snake Island. Russian Air Force, Budanov was in a Snake Island just a couple of days ago. You already missed your opportunity. And you missed your fighter jet Sukhoi Su-30 SM, which is in a way better compared to F-16, but still kind of vulnerable to air defense. Yeah, -1 today for Russian aviation, confirmed by fighter bomber who cries a lot. Goodbye, forever. Well, something interesting is happening in Syzran, Russia. It could be the oil refinery facility. Judging on that tube, we can see it here. Yeah, some sort of the factory is on fire, as well as maybe over here. Several of the kabooms reported. Those are the fresh ones. Russians trying to shut down the drones, but nothing is happening. Yeah, this is happening. Okay, kind of the good morning for Russia, especially in Syzran. Yeah, it's the Syzran oil refinery already confirmed. Yay. This is filmed in different city, Russian Volgograd. The ex-name of this city is Stalingrad. Judging on this huge fire, I would say that it is connected with the Russian oil as well. Also, Yanakive is under attack. Again, huge fire. So Ukraine strikes lots of the Russian logistics on the Russian territory and Russian-controlled territory in Ukraine. Well, it looks like definitely one of the biggest Ukrainian drone strikes performed in Russia for a long time. For this month, for sure, because lots of the facilities were hit. Yeah, sometimes Russian air defense is working. They're capable to shut down the drones right into their buildings. Yeah, for the last time, Ukraine really switched on the angry mode to target lots of the Russian refineries all across the European part of Russia. At least a single refinery, sometimes 2, are hit per day. For the Russian economy, it is critical, and I think it will be the topic of the conversation between Putin and Trump to force Ukraine to cease those strikes on the Russian territory. Actually, it was the deal even before, but Russia violated it, hitting Ukrainian infrastructure with their Shahids. Well, Ukraine has the full right to respond on that with its own sensitive strikes. Wow, kind of the unique content we have from Ukraine. This is the Russian Shahid drone, Geran 2. We can see it flying. Thermal camera view, maybe. And here we go, helicopter attack on a drone. That is how it is happening. And later on, drones go down. The bad thing that it might cause some of the wildfires. Usually it's been done, yeah, with the help of the side gun. Like this, like this. Yeah, Mi-8 helicopters, snipers, everyone. Yay, fantastic video. And obviously this field, if it is dry, there will be the huge fire. We have it like this. After all, even with the wildfires, it's better to shut the drone down and not to let it fly to hit some of the very important facility for the Ukrainian army or civilians.
Ich habe in Deutschland
Oh God. Is it some sort of the virus spread by the Hoffman family from the Texas? This guy, his name is what? What is his name? Gvido Huber, he says. He joins the Russian army. That he will fight against Zionism? Really? All right, what else? Fascism and Satanism. But, oh my God. Is there brain inside that head? He's from Lublin city, where the Soviet forces were based before, so Eastern Germany. I understood like that. And Russian journalists, they take the interview of the guy and, yeah, if the guy is there in a training camp, I see it as a training camp, he'll be sent to fight as Derek, and I think he will be zeroed. After all, it's the normal destiny for every Russian soldier. Well, sometimes severe wounds as well. And what drives them to fight for Russia? Guys, this is bottom of the bottoms, really. It is funny and sad at the same time. Well, he's the Darwin Award winner, future winner, yeah? Great news, one more exchange happened. 84 of Ukrainian defenders were returned back to Ukraine. Fantastic. Some people spent more than 3 years in the Russian captivity. Also, women were returned back. It's kind of the rare picture, but I'm happy that it happened. And yeah, here is the new picture coming from Scissoring by the time I'm recording this video, showing complete kaboom of this refinery facility. A really successful strike down by Ukrainian defenders, and that is how we may actually force Russia for some of the ceasefire at least. And I would say that those kind of the sanctions are the most effective. And guys, please check out my latest videos where I filmed about the frontline situation, especially I think it's very important and I give you the real, honest picture. So yeah, please check out especially this one because the situation improves for the Ukrainian army, but still it's dangerous. It's not completely over. The Russian army was stopped in this new offensive near Dobropilya, but yeah, more of the information you'll see over there. Because what is happening on the battlefield is crucial in this war. Those are not minor events, or some people say it's not significant. No, it is crucial. And I want to point it out, and that's why I'm reviewing the military map for you to understand the realities. And the real picture in general, I wouldn't say it's catastrophic for Ukraine, but it's not good at this stage of the war. And guys, thank you so much for your kind support on Patreon. Because of your motivation, I'm capable to film more and more of the videos. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.